Hi, sweeties. Welcome to my new kitchen. Let me take you on a little tour, but first, please subscribe to Sweet Savant. Hit that thumbs up, the notification bell, and now let's get into this brand new kitchen. I love it. Let's start with this island. This is an 8-foot island. The top is made out of quartz, and we picked this white marbleized finish. Once we moved into the house, we sealed it so that it wouldn't stain, with red wine, which I have occasionally, or beets or anything like that. Quartz doesn't stain too badly. We had quartz in our last kitchen, but you do have to be careful with things like turmeric because they can stain a bit. So we sealed it with a sealer called Bulletproof that we ordered. I think we ordered from Amazon or something. These stools are from the old house. They are a little bit high. They used to be at the bar top. We had like a bar top to our kitchen. And this is lower. This is at counter height. So we're gonna have to replace these, hopefully with something a little more cushy, a little more padding for your bottom. They're a little bit high. We've got a big 1-bowl sink here in the island. I chose one big bowl because you can put lots of big pots and sheet pans in there and just submerge them under the soapy water. I hate divided sinks. I always feel really restricted in that little one side. So I had a big 1-bowl basin in the old house, and we opted to do it again here in the new house. The dishwasher over here, the appliances that came with the house are the dishwasher, the range, and the microwave, and these are all Whirlpool appliances. It's a 5-burner range. Now, in the old house, we had a 5-burner range, but it had a griddle pan that went over the center burner, which this stove does not have. So that's a little disappointing. We're gonna have to get a stovetop, like a cast iron griddle to go over here because these folks around here like pancakes or griddle cakes, I guess you would call them, because they're on a griddle. So we're gonna need to get something like that to place on top of the center burner. And you see I have this cast iron pan as part of the collection I have. The kids were making fried wontons filled with all kinds of goodness last night. So this pan is still out. Actually, I used it a few days before that to make the plantain taco shells. I'll put the link to that up there somewhere. And you can see that. But I have more cast iron cookware stored under here. It might be a little dark, but another really large pan that could do some work. I think this is a 15-inch cast iron skillet, a 12-inch, 10-inch. That doesn't belong there. Don't look at that guy. Even this little teeny tiny one for like a little skillet dessert. This is my coffee station, and I do mean my coffee station because nobody else around here drinks any coffee. I've got our electric kettle out here, my French press, some coffee accoutrement up here, grinder, and a bag of coffee, black and bold. We have a display of cutting boards out here, and I guess these are more not for chopping. Please nobody chop on these boards. They're really more for display or if you're like doing charcuterie or something. But they're beautiful, and I think they really warm up the mostly white kitchen, with the white cabinets, white backsplash, white countertop. Things can look a little bit sterile, a little bit cold, but I think the wood warms that up nicely. And if you come down this way, you can meet my old friend, this KitchenAid mixer. I don't even know how old this thing is. It's probably older, maybe 22, 23 years old, because I've had it longer than I've had kids. So this has been working. It's in really good condition. It's getting a little bit loud in its old age, so it might need a tune-up. And I need to replace the paddle because the enamel on the metal paddle started peeling. So I have to get a new one. get a replacement paddle so we can make some cookies. And
I did break it in half trying to make too much cookies.
oh, that was the replacement one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, sometimes the replacement ones, they're made out of plastic, and I don't even know if that was an actual KitchenAid replacement product. That might have been like an aftermarket product. It snapped it right in half. They're just not sturdy. So the original one that was came with the machine was metal with like an enamel coating on the outside. And it was sturdy, but the enamel coating started to peel, and you don't want it to peel and flake off into your cookie dough because that would be terrible. This is the cabinet we keep our baking supplies, flour, sugar, vanilla, Mexican vanilla from the cruise that we took to Cozumel. I think it's really good. I wish I had got 2 bottles of vanilla when we were on the cruise. So yeah, next time, once cruising is a thing again, if you go to Mexico, try out the vanilla. I think it's I think we paid $10 for this bottle, something like that. I'm happy with it. And then underneath this cabinet, we've got baking pans, muffin tins, cake pans, mixing bowls. Oh, and this. Let me show you this. I think this is the best thing that I've gotten recently. So, you know, in the old house, I had a full-size professional baker's cooling rack. And anytime we were baking lots of cookies or cakes or anything, it's like this big. You can just put all kind of trays stacked on stacks on stacks. There's no place in this house to fit anything like that. So I picked up this from Amazon. I mean, look at that. Now, when you take the pans out of the oven, you got some place to stack them up. Because isn't that always an issue? You can even fit one down here. Isn't that always an issue when you're baking like 3 or 4 trays of cookies? There's just no place to put them. So this, I'll put a link to this in the description box. Works like a dream. I love it. I might even get another one. Please, y'all, get a fire extinguisher for your kitchen. This came in a pack of 2. When you get it, it's sealed with plastic around there. Take the plastic off as soon as you get it. So that way, if you need to use your fire extinguisher, you can just take the top off and spray. You don't have to worry about peeling the safety plastic off. Please get a fire extinguisher and don't put it near the stove, because if the stove is on fire, you don't want to have to go over to the stove to get your fire extinguisher. So keep it handy. And it's also better if it's close to an exit so you can spray and get out if you have to. Now let's go on to this too big refrigerator. We could have gotten a counter depth refrigerator that would have ended about here, but we decided that would be just too small for our needs. So we went with a standard depth refrigerator, and it sticks out quite a bit, but it's got a lot of space inside. This is, I think, 28 cubic feet. And it's a cafe refrigerator, and they're pretty expensive. To save money, we bought this from, it used to be called Sears Outlet. I think it's like American Freight. I'll find the right name for it. But they're like scratch and dent stuff. So you see there's a little dent right here. And there's a little dent behind one of these handles. But you get it, we got this for about 50% off. Now, the only issue is that you don't have a warranty. It's pretty much as is. So we bought an additional warranty at the company in case the water dispenser ice maker stops working. And you can see there's a lot of space inside. And we need a lot of space. We're curing bacon in here. So that's like a side of pork belly. I always put the sheet trays in here when we're thawing meats so that it catches any drips. So it had to be big enough to fit a couple of sheet pans. And then it also has this drawer in the middle, which can be a refrigerator or a freezer. Right now, it's acting as a refrigerator. I'll get this later. Shh. It's acting as a refrigerator, but we can adjust the temperature, and it can be a freezer drawer if we want it to. And then the freezer got nice deep chest style here in the drawer, and then it has a couple other drawers There's our mason jar ice cream. I'll put the link to that right up there too. And it's got another, full of drawers. So plenty of storage space. And now let me show you these. My Easy Bake Oven collection. This is what got me started on my journey as a professional chef. When I was a kid, I had a red Easy Bake Oven just like that one. That's not the original one that I had, but it was this model. So if you look from right to left, we have the newest one in my collection, the youngest one, which was recalled a couple of times because a couple of kids got their fingers jammed in there. It was not a good design. So they pulled it off the market, but I was able to get one before they got rid of them completely. Then you have the red one. My daughter says that's orange.
It's orange.
I think it's red. Let me know what you think. Is that red or orange? Leave me a comment in the comments below and tell me, do you think that's red or orange? And then the green one is about that same time, made it about that same time. And then, Easy Bake Ovens were very much on trend. This is the avocado and harvest gold, made in the late 60s. And then the oldest ones in my collection, I think these are the first style that they made. And this is before it was a Betty Crocker Easy Bake Oven. This is when it was the Kenner Easy Bake Oven. And we have the box, the original box that one came out of. But that's my Easy Bake Oven collection. I'll go more into depth on the Easy Bake Ovens in another video if you want. Let me know if you want a video dedicated to the Easy Bake Ovens. Maybe we'll even take one of these old ones and see if they still will bake a little cake. We'll give it a shot. Oh, let's take a look at the pantry. So my pantry needs a little work, y'all. Lots of shelving space. I bought some Lazy Susans so that I can organize all these sauces better, because this right now is a disaster, but we're gonna get it together and I'll show you what we do with that. But there's just lots of space. I can reach nothing on the top shelf. So that's for long-term storage. Things that we won't need to get very frequently. We'll get a little step stool or something, or I'll just call my husband or my son, because my daughter and I cannot reach anything up there. Now I like to keep the counters clear so I don't have any appliances out except for that KitchenAid. So we keep some of the larger stuff down here, like the Ninja Foodie, our blender, the Ninja Foodie grill down there. And we have like an Instant Pot in the pantry. So I keep those. And then there's some stuff in the garage as well. And of course, you gotta have some plants in your kitchen. These are plants anyway that my cats won't eat. So an orchid and a snake plant, Sansevieria. They're both really low maintenance. The Sansevieria, you don't have to water very often. It lasts, got thick leathery leaves, they last forever. And then the orchids, the blooms last for weeks, sometimes months. So I think these are even better than getting cut flowers. An orchid, my favorite, so many varieties of colors. Well, thank y'all so much for coming to see my kitchen. Please subscribe to Sweet Savant and have a delicious day. Here are some more great videos for you. Take a look and please subscribe.